rehearse
cares?
it.
Well, we never do. You tell them that all the time.
We tell them, but it's not true.
Well, now it will be today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Fun Show here at Big TV.
You say it's fun.
Well, that's the name. You
I always
named
have
it.
fun.
Oh, that is a good name.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best
It's a
name.
happy sound.
Yeah, gotta remind him. He named it. He's responsible
I
for
don't
it.
like it.
That's Michael Sallin. He named it. I'm Arch O'Reilly. I talk about it. And this is Kira Miner. She decorates it. So we set up things. In any case,
Alrighty
What am I
then.
playing on?
this is the May 2nd edition of the Fun Show. And that is the Kira keyboard.
That's the carrot.
Yes.
All I did was
KK.
buy a keyboard for
we got
usage.
And so
I
far
did not
we've-
know it was going to be memorialized to me.
No, I didn't say memorial.
Oh,
I
you
just
didn't,
said
'cause I'm-
Kira keyboard.
Gotcha.
And you got 2 bars of music out of it. So.
Fair enough.
Here's your song.
You're welcoming spring slowly into
Yeah.
the time. We had no
Lovely.
winter, and now we can't quite figure out what this season could be called.
This is just weird.
That's
Called
right.
something strange.
I think it's fall.
Yes.
Do
yes.
you? It
yes.
does look very fallish.
Well, you know,
out
we
there.
have the famous Indian summer. I think this is Indian autumn here.
What is it like in
Coming through
Williamsburg
Raintown.
where you're going?
Well, I haven't looked it up. I probably should have and figured out whether I needed to take an umbrella. I'm off to Williamsburg, Virginia. I will not be here next week, so you can tune in with safety.
When are you leaving?
With safety, they can tune in with safety. Is that what
Yes,
you just
you
said?
and I.
Yes.
Unless you get somebody
No,
to come on.
you know we don't. Our viewers are gone when you're not here.
Oh, I don't believe
No,
that.
they're like Arch isn't on it. Off.
All right. You want me
Anyway.
to try Susan again?
Oh, that would be good.
If she
That
would love-
be good.
be-
Yes.
come on,
Yes,
absolutely.
that would be great.
Okay.
Now
with a
listen.
bandana. Okay.
I have to make a public service announcement because the Fun Show always announces these things. And it would not surprise me if some of you are unaware that tomorrow there is a town election in Brookline.
A town election,
yes.
folks, tomorrow.
Tuesday, May 3rd,
Right.
a town election. And normally, I would encourage you to go out and vote.
Vote.
I can't quite bring myself to do it this time because, oddly enough, unless you happen to be in one of the 3 precincts with a race for town meeting, there's nothing to vote for. Because no matter what you do, every candidate on the ballot is going to be elected because there's no race for any office in the town. And frankly, I think at that point, we probably ought to just save the money. You know what you do in meetings and board meetings, you instruct the secretary to cast one ballot for
That's
the
right.
slate of nominees.
Yeah.
We should just inform the town clerk to certify the election of the people and save the money of opening the polls. It's a disgrace, folks. And the fact of the matter is, have rarely been times where it was more important for the citizens of this town to take some action. Our schools are in desperate straits.
Desperate.
Everybody's talking about the fact to increase the devotion, find a 9th elementary school, build it on top of a supermarket if
Add to the
necessary.
high school.
Whatever it takes.
Increase the high school, the population. Those aren't even the important issue. For 50 years, I've been engaged in the schools of this town. I was the chairman of the subcommittee of schools of the advisory committee. I was the founding president of the Brookline Educational Foundation. I was the president of the Devotion PTO. I was the treasurer of the high school PTO.
He knows his stuff.
Did he have
Here's the
time
thing.
to eat?
I don't think he did.
Actually, and sometimes I did not in those years.
I know you didn't.
But in all those years, we had fantastic superintendents that were the envy of not just the state, but the nation. And our school committee and our administration were always on the side of the teachers.
Right.
I am telling you, people, that this no longer is the case. The Brookline teachers now view this school committee and the administration as their enemy. 5 Principals have quit this year. The superintendent quit. This is going to destroy Brookline education. We don't need to build another school. In 5 years, so many people will have fled this town. We'll have empty seats. Wake up, Brookline.
And what's more, taxes are going to
Alrighty
go
then.
up. And they went up already, and they're going to go up some more after when all this building goes.
And now, back to the fun show.
Now that you got that off your chest.
I'm 5 pounds lighter.
Excellent. That was building.
Thanks. Anyway, so it's an election, but think about it, folks. The future is at stake. Now, I want to point out to Michael his most favorite topic over the years of the Fun Show. They turned down your casino in Brockton, Michael.
I'm working for the American
Native
Native
American.
Native
Americans.
Americans. I'm working for them now, and I'm gonna these self.
Are you going to be a pit boss?
No. It's going to be a kind of a self-made wigwam or teepee.
Okay.
It all comes as a package, and
You're
we
gonna-
send it out, and people buy it, and they put it up in the front lawn. They can.
Okay.
What can they do when they get it?
Why do you have to ask these questions?
I just want to see where you want to go with this.
It's the Salin Wiki
That's
Corporation.
it. And it's going to be across the street from you, and I'll be able to go downstairs and have a sweat in it also.
You're going to put it up in your pot
Okay.
garden?
Well, why not? Yeah.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Whatever. Well, anyways,
That's cool. And we'll find you on that show where you go and try to get Mark Cuban to give you money.
That's called Shark Tank.
okay.
That one you know.
Yes, I do know that.
And Tom Terrific is going to sue again.
Oh, good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Your favorite? This is one. You already used up 5 minutes.
No, I already used up all my venom for
Okay,
tonight.
okay.
But
Here comes more.
I did watch quite a bit of the draft.
We didn't say anything about the marathon either.
We've been on several times. What
But we
did you
didn't
want to say about the marathon?
I just want to say that the men winner was Lenny Berhanu Haley of Ethiopia, and the woman
you waited a long time to try to say that.
at
I know he's been
Seda
waiting. He's excited.
Besa, who's
Who
also
made an incredible comeback
yes,
at the
Also from Ethiopia.
yes.
at a
And it's a
heartbreak.
big deal that
Yeah.
the two winners are both
Right.
from Ethiopia.
Same coach. Same
That's
coach.
awesome.
While we're on
And
the
at
subject,
Heartbreak Hill, she was 31 seconds behind, and she won by like 24 seconds.
okay.
She ran down the 2 leaders, passed them, and left them in her proverbial dust. It was an incredible performance. It really
Okay.
was.
Nice.
I want to bring to your attention that there's a company called Pandenga Holdings.
Yeah. Should I call my broker?
No, well, they may.
giving us a tip?
Pandenga Holdings, and they're in Zimbabwe. And the company says,
I don't have any money in Zimbabwe at the moment.
you might now decide, the company says corn-fed crocs make better handbags.
Corn-fed crocs.
Crocodiles.
Okay.
So they're doing that. They're feeding them.
I didn't know you could feed crocodiles chicken feed.
Well, they're feeding them that,
Apparently,
and it
in
takes two
order
and a half
to-
years before they're ready to harvest them.
Yes,
And then they go to Italy because they make handbags out of them out there.
but they're going to put swamp people out of work.
and they
know?
made $4 million last year
Swamp people aren't working.
that's profit.
And the governor of Louisiana is all bent out of shape, I trust.
Well, I think that's a secret business down there.
It's not a secret. It's a big business down there.
Well, I always see these guys on television pulling them out of the
Right,
water.
swamp people. That's
Yeah.
The swamp people. Okay,
Yes.
well, we got them too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So swamp people are getting competition from Zimbabwe.
Right, very good.
That's pretty
and,
good.
All right.
and what about May Day? Did you do anything for May Day? Did you
I did
dance
not.
around a maypole?
I did not. I missed out on that opportunity because it was raining.
Do they still
It was
do
also
that?
the Walk for Hunger.
Well, I know the Soviet,
This weekend.
formerly Soviet Union, that was a big deal.
My sister's
Thousands paraded through.
Yeah. Well, my sister's
Red
school
Square.
when I was a kid, They put the flower wreaths in their hair,
Yes.
and they had the maypole with the flowered things, and
I can
they
remember that.
danced around and wrapped the thing down. The thing, it was a regular thing we were used to, and I haven't heard any mention of dancing around a maypole in years until you brought it up.
Yeah, but of course there were a lot of peace and protest marches, and then there was some violence too.
Yes, there was some
unfortunately, yeah.
violence in various and sundry
Relative to
places.
the
Yeah.
pole dancing?
I don't know if it was pole dancing that led to the violence.
Maybe it was pole dancing as a celebration
Okay.
after the
Yeah,
violence.
Okay,
that's what it is.
I didn't.
Anyway, there was violence in Iraq when they invaded the Green Zone.
But I had to leave
and
today.
there was violence in California when Donald Trump showed up.
Yes, I know.
So what kind of
Now the
violence
papers
there?
want to say that is that helping the vote for him in Indiana? Will that help him?
In Indiana, I don't know.
You don't think so?
Who knows about Indiana? I don't know.
There's a song for
You know
them,
everything.
Well,
What's your
I have-
best
I
guess?
76 Trombones has that song about Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, Indiana, Indiana. Gary, Indiana,
See?
He knows
Indiana.
everything.
He knows, all right. He knows the words.
Well, wait a second. My grandson, that was his solo this year when they did Music Man.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he was also the only kid on stage who played his own instrument. He had a
Wow.
trumpet solo in the thing as well.
Very
Nice.
good.
So if I had ever forgotten it, I certainly can't forget it this year.
No.
Well, can you tell us
Well,
one
impressive.
joke that the president
No,
told
wait a
last
second,
night?
wait a second, wait a second.
Okay.
Do you know who sang that song in the movie?
I do know. I can see his picture, but just
Ron Howard.
Ron.
Wow.
Opie.
I was going to say, do
Opie.
you mean Opie?
I mean, Opie and one of Hollywood's best directors
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
But
Ron
that was his part.
That was his
in
part.
Music Man. Ron
Excellent.
Howard.
Okay.
All right. So what did you start to say? I'm sorry, sir.
I can't remember. It's a senior moment.
It's-
Okay.
And I'm not going to pick up the slack for you guys. I'm sorry.
Okay. And we
You're
talked
not?
about the Valkyrie
Hey,
before
wait a
you
second.
came.
Wait a second.
Valkyrie.
Wait
The
a second.
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. What? What?
Say something.
No.
Yes.
Talk about the Valkyrie.
No. I don't know. What
he's
are you
got-
doing?
he's got
wait,
that-
Wait, hell.
You're
They
not
got that
picking
big-
Up, you're not picking up the slack for us, so it's you're
Oh,
on.
you're going to pass it off to
They're,
me.
they're
You're
building it
Oh
in.
my goodness, I don't know what to do.
They're building it in
I can't, I'm
MIT
just-
and the
I'm-
Northeast.
You-
I'm just part of the setting.
You shuffle.
Sorry,
you
Pete.
shuffle newspaper very well, though.
See, did you see that? I'm looking for stuff to talk about.
Well,
It's
what about this?
Time to deal.
Oh, this one. All right,
Time to
fine. Okay, this is a very lame parade
Magazine.
assessment of what people earn. It's not even, I mean, there's, I don't know, they put Bernie Sanders on here.
Doesn't that look
And
like it's like
it's not
60% the size it
A,
used to
a
be?
good enough range, in my
Yeah, it
opinion.
used to be much bigger.
They
Aren't you going to read?
that
No,
magazine?
because
that
once I looked
magazine
at it,
is
I was
shrinking.
disappointed in it. You brought it to my
They
attention.
do that every
Now
year.
you don't
yeah.
want to talk about
No,
it.
because I was disappointed in it. It really didn't show. I mean, they're putting gazillionaires on
says
here.
here,
You
Bernie
only need one
Sanders-
What is
gazillionaire.
Bernie
He's
make?
74. He makes,
makes-
as a senator, $174,000 a year.
And nothing else?
It doesn't.
Well, it
say
doesn't
he
show
may
all
have
his
some investments.
fringe benefits.
And-
He has people sending in $5
But
and
wait a second. Wait,
$10.
27. That's
Yeah.
the magic
Okay.
number.
All right.
27. That was one of. That's where you started to go, Obama. And one of his good jokes
Oh, you were.
one of his good jokes was, well, Senator Sanders is here. Bernie, you look like $1 million. Or to put it in a way you'd understand, you look like 357,000 contributions of $27 each.
That's funny.
On top of him. Yeah.
That was funny.
I like the one about the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell it? No.
The
He
chairman
tells
of the
about it.
Republican National Committee was there, and he said, gee, I'm glad to see you here. I'm a little surprised you thought you could take the time off to be here, but I guess everything's going really well over there with your nomination process.
That's very good. Okay. What do you think about Mr. Trump? You think he'll become the
No.
nominee?
Yes.
Okay.
Or there's going to be all-out mayhem at the Republican
Convention in
and that's
Cleveland.
really what I think is going to happen.
Well, I think
I
mayhem.
think it's just going to get uglier and uglier. People
No,
are going
it
to start to
isn't. Yeah,
panic
yeah.
at the reality that
I
he's
think
actually representing the entire
Indiana
Republican
had
Party.
the chance to make it mayhem, and they seem to be they seem to be passing if polling means anything. 'Cause
Yeah,
now
I
he's,
saw
No.
that.
Now
Yeah.
he's polling way
The
out front.
Republican convention means here we are. This is our candidate. Right now, it's still everyone can still feel like there's some sort of speculation
No,
going
but-
on.
Well, you think Ted
Once
Cruz-
the doors slam shut, they're
now,
gonna panic.
I now think he may get the number of delegates necessary.
Do you think Ted Cruz is Lucifer?
Lucifer.
I have not
Who
paid
was- who
any
was who
attention
said
to
that?
it. I'm not interested in either of them.
The former Speaker of the House, Boehner,
Oh, John Boehner.
he said
Yes,
that.
he says he was
He
Lucifer
must
in
have
the
had a few
flesh.
drinks.
Lucifer in the
And
flesh.
he said, then he
That's
went
funny.
through
Boehner-
SOB, he called him.
Boehner appeared in a sketch with Obama at the correspondence dinner. Obama's wondering what is he going to do when he's out of office. What's he going to do? And Michelle says, "Look, go talk to somebody who is experienced and knows about this." And the next shot, he and Boehner are sitting in a screening room. And Boehner said, "Have some popcorn," and such. And Boehner did a whole sketch with him. After all
Excellent.
that animosity
Yeah.
between things, it was
He
kind
looked
of nice.
so relaxed when I
That's
watched this
excellent.
interview with him.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
He
so
totally redeemed himself.
yes, he called
in my eyes.
He called Cruz Lucifer, and
and an SOB.
and then the Cruz campaign actually is having a big problem at the moment because they actually let Heidi Cruz speak, which, as far as I know, is the first time, or at least the first time she ever made the news, speaking at a thing, and she referred to Ted as an immigrant. And you know how the Republicans have an article of faith that you never explain, never apologize, never retract anything. The campaign spokesman, three were severely injured in the stampede to the microphones to say, no.
I would,
I
I'm going
guess-
to have to go check that on YouTube.
Now, what is it? Ted Cruz, I guess his parents were Cuban, right?
one
But
was Cuban.
He was born here.
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born here. He was born in Canada. Right. Well, okay. So she referred to as an immigrant.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right.
Technically, he is. If he's from
Well-
Canada,
well-
she didn't,
Well, it's an interesting question. Is
They
he
were living
if
in
he's a
Canada.
born American? You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Trump raised this issue.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You can have a long debate. But
No.
the fact of the matter is the Republican Party has decided that immigrant is a dirty word.
yes.
You gotta,
You know.
you gotta do it.
I don't know how. This is ridiculous.
All right, we won't do it this week. Okay.
Yeah, we don't need to do
We
it,
don't need
'cause-
to do
'cause-
it.
I'll tell you, folks, just for the fun of it, we had a script here from the vault,
What was that
and
205?
it was called fretting,
fretting.
which I think refers to what your left hand does on a guitar, unless you're Paul McCartney.
But we're doing the other
right.
the other.
But the thing is, in fact, the copy machine was broken down, so we only have one copy.
Okay.
We had the mildly insane idea that we would actually try to do this play, handing the script around in a circle as,
No.
Come
as
on.
we
Ain't
did
gonna
it.
work.
You guys chickened out.
You want to try it?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
Voting
So-
Rights Act.
Not at this
What,
point.
what are you going to do
We're
about the
gonna
Voting
embarrass
Act?
ourselves.
The Voting Rights Act, is
Which
it-
was
is it in the news?
disabled by the Supreme Court in 2013, and the states don't need pre-clearance by the federal government anymore.
That was selected states anyway. That was states.
Well, it's
that
about
had
14
had
southern
been
states.
It had been who had been found previously in violation.
Yeah, now they. What
So now
did I
they're
have?
free
They
to
cha-
suppress
they
votes
changed
and
the
steal
voting
votes.
places and shorten the or cancel early voting. These are the things that and to demand photo ID
Right.
and proof of citizenship
Right.
when they
All
go to
this-
the polls.
All this, according to the Republicans, is to prevent voter fraud. And the fact of the matter is that there has not been one verified case of voter fraud in the United States in the last 70 years.
Well, there you have it.
There
But you
have
see,
it.
a Republican considers anyone voting Democratic to be voter fraud.
Or not.
They have a different definition
Yes, they
of what
do,
voter
of a
fraud
lot
is.
of things,
We didn't-
actually.
Valkyrie.
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 You have to go see the opera.
Where's the?
Tom
do I have
played
it?
in that. Okay, what
No,
do
you have.
I didn't bring it in.
You didn't bring it in.
Well,
It's
the
about
best
that
part was
big
the
robot.
picture.
Robot.
The robot.
The robot.
The robot.
You
They're
say
building it.
tomato and I say tomato.
Is there another way
You
to say robot?
Potato.
Robot.
Robot.
Robot?
Robot.
Robot.
Sounds like a cricket.
I Robot.
Robot.
Did you ever read I Robot? It was
They
a
turned it
play.
into a movie,
The
I
word
I,
actually
Robot.
came from a play.
Yeah.
Okay.
In any case, it's a 6'2", 275-pound, fully articulated, almost human-looking robot that's being developed between MIT and Northeastern University. And it's, believe it or not, its mission is to maintain the early staged equipment on Mars in preparation for astronauts going to Mars.
Right.
Very cool.
And they have decided to call it Valkyrie.
Valkyrie.
And
Valkyrie.
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 Okay. All right. Very good. Okay.
And now that we have had enunciation class,
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
where else are we going to practice this kind of thing?
Do you know they have something? Excuse me. They have a bike, kind of with those with disabilities are learning to bike.
Oh.
okay.
Kids with
Would you like me to hold up the prop?
I don't think they can see it over
With
there.
help.
But,
Learn to
Those
bike.
with disabilities.
but
learning to
anyways, these are
bike.
kids with Down syndrome, autism, and they're kids who never could really ride a bike, and they have a team and they have a piece of equipment they design, and they get them to all of these volunteers get them to ride the bike and eventually learn how to use it. It encourages these youngsters to think about if they can do this, they can think about other tasks they can do, they can learn to do, which I think is terrific.
That's excellent.
Both Down syndrome and autism are associated with high rates of obesity. If we can help these kids by getting them out biking and having fun with their families, we're putting them on a path of being active and healthy long term. This is apparently associated with the Emerson Hospital Center for Rehabilitative and Sports Therapies.
Yes, it is.
It looks like an interesting
It is.
program.
That's a
Very
positive.
good.
You know,
It's not negative news, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
a
that's
sports
not good
hero who
news.
will live for a long time in Boston is David Ortiz.
He hit a home run.
Big Poppy. Wait a second.
We know about him. Yeah.
Anyway, he's in his final season.
Yeah. So.
And he has now done something that I think was last done by
Babe Ruth.
He told a kid
I'm gonna hit.
with medical problems who idolizes him, who's not local, in fact, was on, and he told this kid, "I'm gonna hit a home run for you
you."
tonight," and then he did it.
And he did it.
Nice.
And they won the game as a result of it.
Right,
That's
which was
excellent.
And
He's spectacular.
This little kid was so thrilled.
Oh,
I was kind of thrilled when I read about
I
it
think
too.
most people were thrilled reading that.
But I mean, it's risky to say to a kid, "I'm
well,
going
his
to hit a home
average
run."
and his odds are good that
No,
that's
but
going to
for all-
happen.
For
They had
all,
the Babe Ruth movie
for
on
all
also
you
the
know,
other
for all
night.
you know, the other pitcher may have read that and decided to walk him 4 times in the game or something
Groove
like that.
one for him, maybe.
Well, that's the other equal possibility. The other pitcher may have said, "Hey, this is a nice story. I'm just going to lay one in there for him."
Yep.
No.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe. We don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure that's what they did on that last
Yeah,
pitch
okay,
to
all right, okay.
to Ted Williams.
So I have been handed an article regarding that there are traces of pesticides that were found in the individual
Quaker.
servings of the Quaker Oats, the microwavable little packs.
Instant.
The instant packs. for-
Rainey, you can turn us off now for a minute or two.
She's laughing.
She's aware.
I told her while she's eating the oatmeal I'm talking
So
about.
what's going to happen? Are they sued yet?
Our dear Renee,
Yes,
who
they
we,
are. Lawsuit asserts.
Our dear Renee, who we sing to every night here, is a great fan of these small packets of instant oatmeal.
I was.
Well, it's easy. They're convenient. You
So
don't have to
Michael
think.
finds a story saying that they found pesticide in these Quaker Oats quick 1 minute things.
Black.
And he waited till his dear wife was eating her oatmeal to tell her.
So
Glyphosate.
thoughtful of you.
Turns out that it can be
What is it?
carcinogenic. Glyphosate.
Oh, that's what it was
It's a
found in
pesticide.
it. Glyphos something.
It's a pesticide.
Glyphosate.
Anyways,
I can't say it.
they got a guy
Glyphosate.
who's suing Quaker Oats in New York, and he's suing also in California, and he's suing, so I'll be reimbursed for all these packages
Oh,
that I
really?
ate in the last several years, and I've got all these problems now as a result of it. I limp and I can't walk too well, and I'm
Well, the
coughing.
problem is it
I have
says
a bad
100%
throat,
natural.
My elbows hurt. My
nothing-
You're just
knees.
dying.
None of
You're
which
dying
have
over there.
anything to do with being 80 years old.
Wait a minute. The EPA says it's okay. All
The
right.
EPA said it was okay.
Well, here's the thing. You'll get back $271.36, and the lawyer will get $500.
Thousand.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot more than that.
Thousand. Okay.
No, just on his part. Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
What about Obama and the Supreme Court and the executive action to let 4 million parents stay here in America, not to deport them,
Well-
because their kids were born here?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see what the Supreme Eight do.
Yeah, that's part of the question. What do you think of this? The
Well,
Supreme Court with
okay,
8 people.
So here's the thing that happens with children of illegal immigrants. They come here at age 2. They go into the school system.
But what if they're born
Let
here?
me finish.
Okay.
They go into the school system. They have, whether it's a real social, whatever it is, but they go up through the system and they, believe it or not, they start paying taxes when they work. Okay, they might pay taxes their entire lifetime, but because they're illegal, they will never be able to collect on those taxes. So that money is funneled into our government. If you kick the parents out, you're taking the kids out. That's billions of dollars or millions. I have no idea what the numbers are for that, but that is.
But it's big.
It's
It
big.
is bigger than the benefits that illegal aliens collect
Okay.
in the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
exactly.
and the
they're not going
interesting thing
anywhere.
is that if in fact they have children who are here, then you have the situation where the children are American citizens and you want to deport their parents. And America is still attractive enough that in many cases they try to arrange to leave the children behind. And now you have parentless children in your system. Would you rather have a hardworking, intact immigrant family, or would you like to have parentless children that the system's trying to deal with?
Exactly.
And with social workers crawling around.
But the Donald has an answer. Round them all up and ship them out.
Ship them off.
Ship them off after they build his wall.
Oh my goodness.
Well, that's.
Well, you know, I'm so glad that he distracted the Republican people and party from everything so that Hillary could gain momentum and respect. The biggest thing I hear about Trump supporters is that their concern is his diplomatic abilities. So even people who are
Foreign
supporting
policy.
him, exactly, even people who are supporting him are going to be hard pressed to actually vote for him. Is it time to sing?
Wait. Quick.
He decided to insult China yesterday, just in case Mexico wasn't a big enough enemy to take on. He said China has to stop raping America.
Oh.
In his usual diplomatic language.
Oh my goodness.
Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene.
Irene, good night. Irene, good night. We'll see you in our dreams.
Good night, Irene. Enjoy your oatmeal. Don't listen to him. Good
No,
night,
listen to him.
everybody,
Don't
from-
eat your oatmeal.
From the Fun Show here at Big TV.
Big.
I
Excellent.
remind you, I will not be
Organic
here, but I'm
oatmeal.
sure that there
Williams
will
We're gonna
be
miss you.
an adequate replacement.
We'll do our best.
I will be in the hopefully sunny South,
Irreplaceable.
celebrating in Williamsburg.
We might just have to do it
Virginia.
ourselves.
What?
We might just have to tough it out here ourselves without you.
Yes. Well, then you can. You only have to pass the script back and forth.
That's true.
Yes, exactly.
Good night, everybody. This is Big TV in
Big.
Brookline, and it's May 2nd.
B-I-G. Well, it used to be.
Bye, everybody.
Election tomorrow, folks.
Yeah, don't forget the election, folks. Vote. Or don't vote, but vote.